Guys, guys, apparently it's been 21 years. 21 years since the downfall of Casca. But with the most recent release of this newest Berserk chapter, 354, chapter 354 of Berserk, we might actually finally see the return of Casca. Now, not as, a doll, but as a living person who actually has her sanity back. And that's just... I'm still freaking crazy over it, dude. Like, what the hell? Yo, it's like, this has been so long. This has been so long since, it's just... I don't know I don't even know what to say. Like, guys, I mean, for this chapter of Berserk, this is going to be very, very emotional for some of you, and a lot of others out there are probably just going to be very happy. Regardless, anyone's going to be happy just out of this chapter of Berserk, that finally Casca has gotten her memories back. For the most part, from what we see at the end of this chapter of Berserk, Casca finally opens up her eyes, and it seems as though she finally has a grasp on her sanity once again. Now, the thing about this, though, is that while I am happy that Casca finally has seemed to have finally woken up, it seems like she's has her sanity back, her memories have now been regained. That has been the whole purpose of this whole journey that Farnese and Shirake have been on within the mind of Casca. It was to basically heal, what was left inside of her and help her finally, open up her mind once again to a brand new future for herself, along with Guts. And we finally get that, but at the same time, while I am super happy for this, everyone, it's just, this is bound to cause some sort of problems with possibly Farnese and Shirake. Like I said before in my previous episode, my chapter reviews of Berserk, there is the possibility that there could be a repercussion because of the fact that Casca has now gotten her memories back. I mean, we don't really know if Shirake and Farnese are actually out of the mind of Casca. Sure, they accomplished their mission as to what they were going to do, but are they going to get safely back into the real world, back into their main bodies, so to speak? Like, is everyone actually going to wake up out of this, back to the way on how things were? Also, if that does happen, how exactly is Casca going to interact with Guts? Is she going to flip out? Is she possibly going to forget some things? Maybe, while she does have her memory back, what about this whole process that Shirake and Farnese went through? What if there is something that possibly could have been, altered in her memory? We don't really know. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's just there are so many things that could possibly happen now that Casca has finally gotten her sanity back once again. But all I can imagine is right now is just on how Guts must feel. And I really hope that Kentaro Miura really does show the interaction for next month's chapter of Berserk. We need a reunion with Guts and Casca, and to possibly get the opportunity to actually see Guts, this character who has been on a lifelong journey to save Casca, to get her back to the way things were, from all of the dark things that have happened in her life. Not only, her life, but also in his life, to see this strong-willed individual who has been at it time and time and time and again to save Casca, and to time and time and time and again to make sure that she survives, along, while he is doing his best to save his own skin. This guy, who has literally been fighting demons throughout his whole life, who has lived through hardship, finally gets to see the woman he loves back on her feet once again, and to see Guts break down upon seeing that is the chapter I want to see. That is the chapter where I want to see Guts actually express himself. He's been holding this dark shit in for so long, and I just need a good moment. I need a good moment with Casca and Guts. But like I said before, when it comes down to good things that usually come about in Berserk, it doesn't really last forever, you know, and there's at least some repercussions with it. We don't know how exactly the interaction between Guts and Casca is gonna go about, you know, does she want to go back to the way things were? Because remember what Skull Knight said, her wish might not be your wish. So for all we know, while she could wake up and she remembers, you know, everything that happened, she can go back and hide in the back of her memory and go back to the way she was before. You know, if she is able to actually remember those scenarios that played out in her life long ago. So there is also that. And then there is also the possibility that maybe even Griffith can appear very, very soon. He can actually pick up their location. I mean, we honestly have no idea what to expect for the next coming of chapters of Berserk to come, but all I can say is that this was a very happy chapter. This was a very happy chapter, and it just brought a lot of emotions, you know? But man, it's been a while. It has been a while, and to see finally Guts be able to finally see Casca back to the way she was before is going to be something to see. But it's probably not going to be the way that we initially wanted to see Casca back, because like I said, who knows what is going to happen, you know, with the interaction between them. We really don't know what's going to happen. We don't know whether it's going to be happy, sad, or bittersweet. But hopefully, you know, we will get something good out of it, and hopefully the perspective doesn't change, you know. So Kentaro Miura, thank you for the chapter. Thank you for letting us get this opportunity to see this chapter. And, you know, man, just please don't shift the chapter to something, you know, next month. Please don't shift it to something else. Keep the focus on the interaction with Guts and Casca. Now that she's finally back, I want to see Guts on how he handles this and how Casca handles this. This has to be next week, or excuse me, next month. Next month, this has to be a chapter dedicated to Guts and Casca. It has to be. So, oh man, I'm super excited. I'm super excited, and I'm also super worried at the same time. Like, when it came down to this chapter, a lot of emotions were coming out. A lot of emotions. It was overall just a very happy chapter. I'm very glad that we finally had the opportunity to witness Casca finally returning, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see how she eventually returns, you know, because she might not be the same. And that's probably something that we're all going to have to accept, you know? So, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, what you guys thought about this chapter of Berserk. Did you like it as much as I did? Are you happy with the chapter? Are you disappointed with the chapter? Let me know in the comments down below. Just let me know your overall thoughts and predictions for what you have for the next coming chapter of Berserk, as well as just your overall thoughts on this chapter alone. Be sure to give this video a double thumbs up if you enjoyed, and hit that red subscribe button if you want to see more. And with that said, everyone, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one.